Okay. Please inform them that class have started. So they can join back. I'll give them like 1 minute before, like 5 minutes before I. Now this how they give up. Man, they play now. You don't do that. If you before you learn programming, you must make up your mind that is either it is what it is, or it is not what it is. So they give up like that too. I cannot give up.
So which one work for you finally?
Oh, but Jasper Green, you wicked. You get mine. They send me 160 something for WhatsApp. Huh? You get mine.
When you go to run,
This man.
you're in a high chief now. I don't see your network day sharp like others.
Yes. Hello. Will I say 1 day ahead? Come. Valentine, respect yourself. Valentine, respect yourself. Don't respect yourself now. Go drag you. Go drag you, van. Alright, where we go? Alright, so where do we stop? Guys, where do we stop? Where do we stop?
You were asking which element we have not got.
Which what?
Element, which HTML DOM we have not got.
Okay, yeah. That was what I'm asking. So apparently we've gotten up. So right. So that's not what we are doing. What we are doing before we had this network issues. Hold on. I think what we are doing before we had network issues is we are reading about the if you recall earlier, we talked about the minimum and the maximum, right? So we're actually reading about this to ISO stream, right? So we are going to see what the to ISO stream is all about and how it works. So now this to ISO stream, if you look at here, it's the method of date instance that returns a string representing this date in the date string format. So based on ISO stream. So in the ISO stream, right, we have year. The year comes first, the month comes first, the dates, then time, which is this T. This T represent time, then hour, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, right? So that's what they are trying to say. So the ISO stream is a international standard organization. It's actually a pattern that you will use to display time in JavaScript respectively. So so before we move into that, we also need to look at the JavaScript time object. So when you look at the time object, if you want to create time in JavaScript, all you need to do is to call new date, right? So in this new date, you can pass in year, month, days, hours, seconds, milliseconds. So let's quickly create a time object. So there's a lot of constructors, time method. So we have .get date is to get the date, get year is to get full year. So let's quickly create time object. That will also help us. So here we can decide to say const Judy equals to new capital letter D date, right? So this new date, let's consider the log and see what's going to happen. So consider the log td. Move this. Let's close all this. Close all this. Close all this. All right. If you consider the log, can you tell me what you are seeing here? Can you tell me what you are seeing here? Can anybody tell me what you are seeing here?
17th April 2024.
Right. So you can see,
11, 10.
Right. So you can see this is a way to create a time object. So the time object is the date object has time, it has dates, it has minutes, it has seconds and mini what seconds. So that's what the time object does, right? So we can also decide to get date, get time, get hour. So if I want to get the hour, I can quickly come here and say okay dot get can say get hours. Then when we come here, we can see that we're not really getting the hour, but let's try to get full year. Get full year. I'm not saying it's impossible to even get hour, because get full year, we should be able to get full year. Let it load. Not defined. Get full year native. So let's do something. Come back here. Let's say dot get full year. So let's try it here, and then here we can get this.
So the get full year not a function.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's a method.
Yeah, I think it should work. Get full year.
Bracket.
Huh?
I think you put a bracket because it's a method.
Bracket. What do you mean by bracket?
Get full year, then bracket open and close, just like a new date.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm just calling it like this. It is what it is for me. Okay. Though the date today is what did we get? Day 3. Today is Wednesday, right? That's why it's getting 3, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we can also get what's it called? Get full year. Can get full year, right? Yes. Can get year 2024. So that is how you can get time function. So what we are going to do, right? So what we are going to do first, what we are going to do first is it's actually very so what we are going to do is very simple, right? We are going to get full year. So what we want to do here is that we want to get for this time we want to get the current time, and then restrict user access from let's say restrict user access from getting let's say adding anything above here. So we need to get the standard time. So that is the standard time. If you look at what we printed that here in our console.log, right, you will notice that we want to just get a standard time for it, right? So if you come here, console.log, and then you see this, right? So we want to get a standard time, right? For us to get a standard time, what we need to do is very simple. So we need to convert this to what is it called it? We convert this to string. So when you come here, you will see, to us to be able to get this standard time like this, to have it the standard time year, because we want to present this year, month, and date. So we just need to get this to string. So what we are going to do here, when we come here, we just get to stream, ISO to stream. Then let's see what's going to happen there. Console the log. So when you bring that console to the log, you notice that we have the year, then we have the months, then we have the days, then we have the t which represent what? Time, right? Some t here we have what we call time, but we don't want to get the time, right? So when you look at this, our input form here, we don't have time. So how can we remove this time? Then can anybody tell us what we can do to be able to remove this time, like to separate the time from the date? Any idea? Any idea? Okay. All right. So we have this document here. So let's just follow the document. Let's read about what we call split.
So you can use the split.
Now let's read about split, right? So we can read about split and know what the split does. So when you look at here, you notice that we have split, right? So what the split does is that when you split something, it can use you to split using what? The split, to help to split text. So you can split text, can split string. So it's a method to split a string into an array. So we want to split this into an array because you are aware that when you have something in an array, it will have comes with an index, right? Index of 0, 1, 2. We've done that before, right? So when we have an array, we split it to an array, we can be able to get each of the elements using the word, the index. So for us to be able to get to get the time, right? The time and also the time from the date, we need to use to split, right? So when we come here, we are going to split this from the dates, the t, the time where we have the t. So this t we are going to split inside the splitting, we add this t because we are splitting this into two. So we are going to add the word the t. So what we are going to do, moving ahead, we going to do dot split, right? The split. So inside the split, we are going to add t, and I believe you know where we are getting this t from, right? So when we get that t, let's see what's going to happen. So we automatically convert this to an array. Remember when we read here, so they said method returns the new arrays, right? Split method. So this split a stream into what? Into array of subs arrays. So that's why when they come here, method will split this, you will see that we have arrays. Anybody that don't know that these arrays, that means it is what it is for you. So what do we really want to get? We want to get the index of 0 that has what? That has what?
They did.
What's up? I don't know. Yeah, perfect. So we need to get the date. So we call the 0 index. We call the what? The 0 index. Is there anything you don't understand here? If you don't understand anything, please indicate. Let me help your life. All right, you can see we have the word. Now this is what we want to use to add here to make sure that the user does not click up, does not come down. So let's do that immediately. So I am aware that you are aware that we've been able to grab this, right? We've been able to grab this time picker. We call it time picker. I don't know what we call it. Let's check what we call it here. You scroll up, we have the date picker. So this date picker is this information that we are having here. So let me quickly call this variable here. I'm going to call date picker dot what? Date picker dot what? Who can give us what we are going to add there? Date picker dot set what? Attribute. So set attribute is actually used to set value of an element in JavaScript. So we want to set value, right? So what value are we setting? Like I told you, we want to pass in the time that we are getting, the date that we are getting. So when we come here, we set attribute. So today. Now, so what we need to do, remember I told you earlier, if you want to limit the numbers of dates, right, they can choose. So we use limit, right? We call this minimum. Then we use the current date, which is this current date that we are getting here. So this is the current date we are getting. So we limit this based on the word, the current date. So if we have tomorrow, this time will change to tomorrow. If we have today, this time will change to today. Next week it will change to the next week. So it is getting the exact dates. Are you getting me? It is getting the exact what date the user want to create the event. Are we communicating? So we move in here, we put the minimum, then we pass in dt, right? So to put this here, we pass in the word the dt. So we pass in this t, we come back here, and when we come here, you notice that the up is no longer clickable. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? It can go up, but it can only limit to the day. Are we communicating? Is there anything you don't understand here, children of the world? Okay, good. Now let's move to the next code. I believe that we understand whatever that is here. So that's how you are going to understand to the end of the class. It is what it is. So what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? So what we are going to do next is to we need to first let's see, we need to first, when somebody click on this link, right, we want something to happen. Are we together? So when somebody click on here, we want something to happen. So when somebody click create, we want to be able to get the information, the title, and the date. Do we understand? So when somebody click on here, we want to get the word, the form title, and the date. Are we communicating? Are we communicating? Please, if you are not communicating, I will stop sharing my screen.
We are communicating, sir.
There's only two persons that are communicating about all the 400 people we have here. Are we communicating?
Yeah. Communicate.
It's only two persons that I'm seeing that is communicating.
Yes, sir. We are here. We are here, sir.
We are all
If you are communicating, please give me Tinubu dance. Tinubu dance. Tinubu dance. Tinubu dance. All right. All right. Let's move. So what we are going to do next, right? All right. What we are going to do next is that we want, when a user click on this, we want to be able to grab this and grab this. So the guy, are you there? The guy don't run.
The guy is sleeping.
This class is for the strongest. So all right, so so can you tell us what we're going to do when somebody click on that link? We want them to be able to grab those information. So who can give us an idea of what to do?
Document.
Okay, if you remember early, few weeks ago, we learned about event listener, right? Are we communicating? We learn about what? Event what? Listener, right? How many people remember about the event listener?
Yeah.
All right.
Remember.
So yes.
Yes.
So let's look at the event listener. Let's read a bit about the event listener. Please, if you don't understand anything, always try to ask question. So we have element submit event, and then they say no that the submit event fired on the form. So when you click on submit event, right, it will fire on this form. So if you are having a form like the one we have here, right, when you click on this submit, it will fire this man. Are we communicating? It is what? Fire this man. Now, when you look at that, we move down a little bit. So we have add event listener. So this add event listener, it's a function that listens to the events. So it listens to this event and then execute whatever that is happening here. So this event, are you getting me, can be a function. So when you listen to the event, this can be any event, click, highlight. So whatever that is happening here, it will now execute whatever that is here. So this is a function. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like I told you, I'm going to make the class very interactive. So that's what we also have here, right? Now, let's move ahead. When we come here, we are going to create an event listener. So where are we actually getting this event listener? Who is this event listener, right? So what we are going to do is to look at the event that we are listening to, right? So we are going to say, let's look at the form. What do you have in the form? Countdown form. Do we have this here? Countdown form. Do we have it here? Countdown form. So this is a countdown form, right? So when you click on that countdown form, it should trigger this. So what we are going to do is that countdown form dot event what? Event listener. So in the event listener, what are we going to listen? The event that we are going to listen, which is submit.
Submit.
Right? Submit. Then when we submit, what will happen? So here we are going to pass in a function that whenever we submit, it should immediately call that function. Are you getting me? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So we can say update count. We can say update countdown form, right? So this is a function that whenever we call, remember we don't have this function, so we quickly go here and create this function. So inside here we can call the function. So here we can call event. Now, before I move ahead, will you tell me why we are calling
that form is not correct, sir. Countdown form. The form is not correct.
this one?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Countdown function is function that I'm writing, not form. Countdown function. So can you tell me why we are calling this? Why we are passing this parameter? So now this parameter means this whole form here. Do you understand? So this parameter means this whole form. So whatever we call in this parameter means that we are talking to this whole form. Do we understand? Do we understand? So the parameter means this whole form. So event there means the whole form. So I can decide to say, okay, whole form, so that I can understand what I'm talking about. Are we together? So this place, anything that is here means what? The whole word, whole form. So what we are going to do, let's say console.log you can say form click, right? So let's come and test it in our form. So let's click this. We are having something not defined, so let's look at it and see what is not defined there. They say form is not what defined, so it's like there's a problem. Let's see what the problem is. Okay, we are having C here, and we need to pass in the C here. All right, so now let submit. Now you notice that if you submit, we cannot see the hello, right? So when we click, it will reload, and when it reloads, we cannot have access to the information that we need. So we need to stop the form from reloading. Are we communicating? We need to stop the form from what? From reloading, right? So let's look at this prevent default. So anything that I'm using, I'll make sure that there's a document to explain that. So we need to prevent the form from what? From reloading. Can you tell me why we are preventing the form from reloading? Who can tell us why I prevent the form from reloading? Huh? Okay, fire down.
Okay, we're preventing a form from reloading because by default, once you submit, the form reloads first. So if it reloads, all our information is going to be lost, and you start a new first page again.
Okay, any other person?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it also enables, a single click. It disables link
Exactly. So
when you click on it.
exactly. So for us to reload the form, we are going to use default what present. But before we do that, right? Before we do that, we need to understand what we are really getting, right? What we are really what getting. So the event. So let's come here and first of all let's prevent the form from loading. So we can say the whole form, right? Because I told you this whole form is this whole thing. So we don't want it to reload. So whole form, or we can change it to dot what? Prevent what? Dot prevent what?
Default.
Dot prevent prevent
Default, Abi.
defaults, yeah. Defaults. All right, I think that is it. The prevent defaults. So we close this. Let's try again and see if it's really prevent the default. Move in there and we click on this. You can see we have form click. Now we are getting everything that is clicking what on the form, right? So when we click here, is there anything you don't understand from here to this place to this place? Tell me so I can recap. At your fire down. Look at the okay. So I'm going to change this to E, which is stand for events. So I don't want to use that to or you can saw events. So right. So moving to form. I don't want to use like everybody. Let's just use form. Form. Now, for all to see everything that inside the form, right? So we don't necessarily need to be calling this one by one. So we are getting everything inside here. So let's do event form dot let's say let console log something, right? Let's say our form dot let's see Okay, let console log form, right? Let console log what form and see what's going to happen.